Anthony Sapsford, Managing Director, GoFox Christchurch Northwest. Yeah, so the main things I think about with sort of retirement is sort of prepping the house for cutting down on maintenance and things like that. So a big one for us is ventilation. Also being retired, you're probably on a fixed income, so you want to keep all your other bills down. Ventilation is a big one because what it sort of does for the house as well as the people, keeps the house warm, makes it easy to heat, which obviously cuts down on your heating costs, gets rid of allergens, helps the health, and it also helps all your furnishings around the house. So you know, you're getting rid of all the stale air, getting all the moisture out of the house, so it helps with the curtains, couches, carpets, everything. So I think that's quite a big one for, you know, retiring and forward planning, is having something like that can sort of help cut down on all those other maintenance bits that you've got to worry about. Like lights, so there's still quite a lot of old light fittings around. We suggest chucking in the new LEDs. What that does, cut down on your energy usage, again saving money on that. It also sort of seals the lower part of the house from your ceiling space. So a lot of the old downlights, they had the lamp in it, they were open to the top, so you had a lot of air coming from top and below, so everything's sort of going up. So the new LEDs stop that, and that helps again with the ventilation, making sure nothing's coming down out of the ceiling, things like that. Another sort of thing you think about is your heating. Is your heat pump old? You know, have you got a fire in there? Do you need to whack in a heat transfer or something like that, help move some heat around? That's a reasonably cheap, easy way to do it. Another one for us, which is starting to become a little bit more common, is the hot water heating. So hot water cylinder, generally about a third of your power bill. We are starting to install a lot more of the heat pump hot water cylinders, and that cuts that cost down to a third of what you're currently paying. So the return on investment's pretty good, and it happens pretty quick. Yeah, so there's a few options for that. You can retrofit to existing cylinders, or you can put new cylinders outside. So yeah, there's quite a bit we can actually do with it that helps save money, especially in the long run. With the smart home things, there are certain things that do help. We can install energy monitoring devices on the switchboard, things like that on certain appliances. You can check the usage of each appliance on your phone, and that sort of helps, again, with cutting costs. You can see where your power's going, things like that. Automation-wise, that's quite handy. You can then add lights, blinds, sockets, switches, all sorts of stuff, but I think it's mainly about, in that retirement phase, just sort of future-proofing, just making sure you know where your money's going. So the smaller things like that, like the energy monitoring, chucking a few on lights and things like that you can control. Heated towel rails, again, that's another one you can whack on automation, so you can set your timers. It's a lot easier than the old sort of timers that you had. You had the big rotary timers on the wall and things like that. A lot of the automation's hidden. Once you set it, you can forget it. That sort of stuff's pretty handy, yeah.